And like that, it was over in a flash. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dark Elevation. 7 matches, 36 minutes long. Nice, easy, and digestible. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. I do want to say before I dive into the rest of the review, though, I'm going to start combining Dark Elevation and Dark starting next week. Mainly because while sometimes Dark episodes go a little bit too long and they have a few too many matches, on Dark Elevation, when they're like this, there isn't a ton of stuff to talk about that's going to make for a full review. So that's why I'm going to take those two shows, Human Centipede them together. That's going to be starting next week. So that's your warning. Anyway, let's crack on with, well, the fact that Excalibur and Mark Henry were doing commentary. And I got to be honest, Excalibur and Taz are better doing commentary. Mark Henry, I'm sure he's a fine coach. I'm sure he's doing a great job coaching people up and scouting talent and everything. And I'm sure that he offers some great insight given the fact that he was in WWE for so many goddamn years and all the issues he had, in the early stages of his career. He's got a lot of knowledge passed down. He's just not that great on commentary. It is kind of a running gag now for him on Rampage. It's time for the main event. But anyway, Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty. Lee Moriarty, by the way, if you get a chance to see him live, fucking terrific, great talent. They took on Marcus Cross, who did not have the I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. The Dragon Ball Z abridged hair. I just can't help but hear, a bunch of Dragon Ball Z abridged quotes whenever I see Marcus Cross. But he let his hair down. He must have had a really fun night. But anyway, J.R. Miller was his tag partner. It wasn't bad. Lee really does have that star quality. Him teaming with Sydal is pretty nice. And eventually Lee Moriarty gets Marcus in the crossface and gets the victory. So there you go. He beats him. It wasn't that bad. We then get Tay Conte versus Amira. Amira had some, a few good shots, but this is a typical Tay Conte match where she did her stuff and won with the Tay KO. Moving on. So Colton and Austin Gunn against JB Cole, and there are some who call him T.I.M. Tim? There is the Ass Boys shirt, well, ass, or A asterisk boys, but whatever. I was on Billy Gunn. Let's go Ass Boys chants. And it was the usual. It was fine. I gotta say this Tim guy actually has some good hops, but he got in a couple shots. There wasn't a lot to this or really any of the matches, quite frankly, outside of a couple flurries in a couple of later matches. And there was Colt 45, 1, 2, 3. So then we get, you guessed it, Frankie Kazarian. I like how they're continuing that. CM Punk did that as a tribute to Norm Macdonald, and it's stuck with Frankie Kazarian. And it's kind of nice. It actually adds some a little bit of nostalgia for many of us that remember Norm Macdonald on SNL. He took on LeBron Calzone, not Calzone. I kept wanting to write Calzone because I'm hungry at the moment, but I gotta say this Calzone guy actually, he got in some good shots and had a good showing here. Now, Kazarian did, of course, end up beating him, but I was like, all right. Little time that he got, out in front of a big crowd, he shined enough, and Frankie Kazarian beat him with the crossface chicken wing. Bring this Calzone guy on a little bit more, if you would. And we get Ruby Soho against Kenzie Page, who has been doing some pretty damn good work on NWA programming. She has gotten herself in a lot more fighting shape and everything, and seems a little more poised in the ring now, and gotten some good strikes, got a nice super kick. Ruby Soho did hit No Future out of nowhere, that big kick, 1, 2, 3, but not a bad match. Private Party took on Chase Amore and Patrick Scott. Remember when Private Party meant something? Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? The whole Hardy Family Orifice thing, not necessarily, well, it's not necessarily great. They won with gin and juice in a couple minutes. The other guy, the enhancement guys they faced, they weren't bad, but Private Party match, it just was what it was. And then Jay Lethal took on Alexander Moss. Moss had some good strikes and actually got kicked out of a diving elbow and actually got a backdrop, big back body drop, like he literally dropped him right down. Good stuff. Got a 2 count, but of course, lethal injection, 1, 2, 3. That's really all there was to this show. So yeah, I'm going to start taking Dark Elevation and Dark next week and put them together and present that video on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, whenever I get to it. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Renton. I'll see you soon.